March the 15th, 44 BC, the Ides of March. Rome is restless. Julius Caesar walks into the theater of Pompeii, confident, untouchable, already halfway to becoming a god. Minutes later, he is bleeding at the feet of a statue. 23 stab wounds, and with them, the Roman Republic begins to die. But here's the question no one asks. What happened to the women? Because when Caesar fell, their world fell with him. This is where our story begins. Most people think ancient Rome was about emperors, gladiators, and wars. But behind every emperor, there was a woman, a strategist, a survivor, a queen, a mother, a rival. The storytelling walking tour unfolds in the dramatic days following Caesar's assassination. The political chaos, the revenge, the uncertainty. And through that chaos, we follow the women whose lives were turned upside down. Cleopatra was in Rome when Caesar was killed, not as a guest, as his ally, possibly as the mother of his son. She was living in one of his properties across the Tiber River. Suddenly, her protector was gone. She was a foreign queen in a city turning violent, vulnerable, exposed, alone. So she fled, escorted to the port of Ostia by a rising Roman politician named Mark Antony. That journey would change history, because their alliance and their love story would become one of the most legendary and dangerous partnerships of the ancient world. And we explore why Emperor Augustus will later turn her into the ultimate political villain. While Cleopatra escaped, a young noblewoman was running for her life. Her name was Livia Drusilla. Her husband and father had supported Caesar's assassins. Now Caesar's adopted son, Augustus, then still known as Octavian, was hunting down his enemies. Livia fled from the very man she will later marry, fled from the man who will become Rome's first emperor, fled towards a destiny that will make her the longest-lived and most influential empress in Roman history. You may know her from the BBC series I, Claudius, where she's portrayed as cold and calculating. But was she really that ruthless? Or was she something far more complex? War requires money. Octavian needed enormous funds to defeat his rivals, and that's when something extraordinary happened. A woman stood up in the Roman Forum. Her name was Hortensia. Educated, elite, fearless. She publicly challenged the new regime's decision to tax wealthy Roman women. Imagine confronting the most powerful man in the world in the middle of political terror and winning. Her speech is considered one of the earliest recorded examples of female political resistance in Western history. And yes, it happened right there where we walk. Meet Agrippina the Younger. Brilliant, calculating, unapologetically ambitious. She was the unofficial ruler behind the throne, sister of Emperor Caligula, wife of Emperor Claudius, then mother of an emperor. She became the ultimate manager, turning her son into the most powerful man in the world. That son? Nero. She thought she would rule beside him. She thought she was securing her legacy. But power in Rome was never meant to be shared. And maybe even the disciplined and ambitious Agrippina proved to be naive when it came to her only son. What follows is a story of betrayal and of a mother who discovers too late, and in the best soap opera fashion, that emperors do not like shadows behind their throne. And then there is Julia Domna. If you've seen Gladiator or its sequel, Gladiator 2, you've seen a cinematic version of her world. After the chaos that followed Emperor Commodus, a new dynasty rose. At its heart stood Julia Domna, intellectual, political operator, and mother of emperors. She was nicknamed the philosopher Empress. She surrounded herself with thinkers and scholars, but she was also navigating a brutal imperial court and two sons who will become bitter rivals. History, in her case, is stranger than Hollywood. This isn't just a history lesson. It's an afternoon storytelling walk through Rome. We begin near the Roman Forum, where Caesar fell and empires shifted. We walk as the light softens. We watch the sun set over the ruins that witnessed ambition, betrayal, seduction, and survival. And we will end in just the perfect place for you to continue the conversation over a spritz or dinner. Because Rome in the evening is different, softer, warmer, intimate, and somehow closer to its past. History often remembers the men who held the titles, but Rome was also shaped by the women who survived them. Queens, mothers, strategists, outsiders. Some were feared, some were misunderstood. All of them were extraordinary. Cleopatra, Livia, Hortensia, Julia Domna, and Vestal virgins, not footnotes, forces. Walk their stories with me. And should you ever visit Rome, see the city through their eyes, because the Roman Empire was not built by man alone.